Hello, Fee Jamieson-Folland, very happily beaming in from the stunning Abel Tasman National Park, which begins just over my shoulder in that direction, about 20 minutes walk. So the hat is because it's very, very bright, and also the hat is because it's my favourite travel hat, as you may well remember, for those of you who've tuned in before. And in the background here, that is the sea right there, which you can see that sort of greeny bit. And on the way to the sea, you're going to hear it coming by now. We are definitely on the main route. You'll see it in the background here too. For the tractors who come to and fro frequently, they kind of have their patches in the morning, a little bit at lunchtime, and now coming it's sort of towards the end of the day when it comes to kayaking and boating out here in the very beautiful Abel Tasman. So very happy to say we're about 15 to 20 minutes away walking from the very beginning of the track, which I have plunged into most days here. So bear with me as we have tractors and cars going by on this wee road here, which is usually very quiet. Beaming in with the golden glitch in the opportunity. That's what this week is all about. And in fact, there's a goodie right here. A golden glitch in the opportunity of noisiness in the background. So the challenge that I've had, and I don't know if you can relate, is that it can sometimes happen when things are going really well. I'll then spot that I end up having an animated debate with a loved one, with Chris. Or something, that's a really noisy one. He's towing a big boat. Makes it interesting. There you go. But so things are going really great, and then something pops up that's just like, woof, it's not ideal. So it's in stark contrast. I don't know if you can relate to that. And what has been such a breath of fresh air is recently rereading and getting the lesson again from Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap, where he talks about that there's actually an opportunity in this, and that it can be this kind of, here comes another tractor. We've really scored the full bore timing. Peak time for the tractors is the golden opportunity that there lies inside this kind of this stark contrast, going in the opposite direction to the great success that's just been experienced, or the good feeling, or whatever it might be. And he invites us to realize that we're kind of, he calls it upper limiting ourselves. So in other words, we all have an upper limit to what's comfortable. And oftentimes we will sabotage in some way. We'll muck up when something really cool has just happened, because it's like really cool. Too much really cool can be like, oh, that's a little bit too much. And he calls it upper limiting ourselves. So what he suggests, and I've been trialing it, and it's very cool, I do suggest doing it, is to sit with, if we notice something great just happened, and then, I don't know, maybe something pops up that's not ideal, is to sit with that. Like a loud tractor going by, for example. And to sit with it and actually spot how it has us feel. And oftentimes it can come up as a physical sensation, maybe a warmth in our tummy or our chest. And this is definitely something I've noticed. I might get like a warm feeling in my chest. And he says then to see what pops up outside of that. And it might take a while, it might take half an hour, so give it some space and time. And it might be that we then become aware of a closeness that we feel with a friend or a loved one, or something good that we feel something good about, something, whatever it may be. And when we're upper limiting ourselves, we're blocking our ability to actually feel that. So that's what's under the surface. And then we might know something like stub our toe, or something comes up that's not ideal. And it's to mask the really good feeling that there might be under the surface. And what I've noticed with this is that when I really do sit with that and I get this lovely feeling, that it's really conducive to flicking me from being in what we call sympathetic mode, which is more like adrenaline and running on stress, or being aware of those stress moments, like if something good's happened and then something like, stub a toe, then we can often go into adrenaline mode. It actually can help me go back into, or forward into parasympathetic mode, and this is more rest and digest. So it goes out of the fight and flight and more into rest and digest. And this takes us more into the relaxation response, which is something that Dr. Benson researched, a cardiologist at Harvard. So it's an area that I'm very passionate about because it can really be a powerful tool to help us access our ideal health potential. So I would love to hear from you. Is this something that you've ever come across? Have you ever noticed that when something's going great, there can be a bit of sabotage in there? I'm curious to hear from you. Always love hearing from you. And in the meantime, please do share this if you found it useful with someone who, you feel that there could be an insight in there for. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you on this week's Alive with Fee, and please do keep sharing your sunshine. And that was a good example of a quiet tractor just going by just then. Ciao for now.